So, whether you're a scapegoat at home or at work, you need to understand that you are playing a part, which is the only reason why the abuse continues. Now, that's not to say that once you learn the skills necessary to mitigate the abuse and reduce the exposure to such abuse, that it will completely eliminate it, but it will at least minimize it and it will allow you to reclaim that some of that power that you lost. And I bring this up because it's such an essential skill for all scapegoats, victims, and survivors and thrivers of abuse to master. In order to detach yourself from the abuse and from the cycle, you have to understand what system you've been placed in, whether or not it was by choice. If your family is a dysfunctional family and it also revolves around a primary narcissist, oftentimes the parent, you were born into this dynamic and the scapegoat label was handed to you. So therefore, it is up to you to understand what you're dealing with and understand what your role as a scapegoat is within this dynamic so that then you can begin to make a conscious intention to step out of it. The dynamic does not exist if you don't give it power. As the scapegoat of a narcissistic family dynamic for the last 24 years of my life, I understand this through and through. Not only do I have lived experience, but I've done my research and I've done my studies on this topic in particular. I've also taken psychology in college and I've been a mental health advocate since I was a preteen. Why? Because of the abuse I endured and because of the sorrow I felt as a young girl. I used to put myself on websites such as 7 Cups of Tea where I was mentoring other individuals who were struggling with their mental health. So let's just say I have the experience and the knowledge. All that to say, I'm hosting a workshop on Saturday, December 21st that is going to teach you, the scapegoat, what the narcissistic dynamic and system and game is, because you first have to understand what role you're in and what the system you're in order to exit it. Okay, it's the same with society. It's the same with capitalism. You must understand the system in order to exit it. You have to understand where you are and what role you play in the dynamic you've been placed in order to know and create a game plan to exit it. And that is exactly what I teach you in my workshop. That is 1 week from now. And claim your spot now. The link to do so is in my bio and I will see you there, okay? Being a victim is your decision up to an extent. At some point, you do have to take responsibility and accountability, and you do have to take ownership over how you unconsciously or consciously contribute to the abuse. Okay, you owe it to yourself to understand the dynamic you're in and the system you're in.